Okay, we are indeed back. We're in business. We're good on YouTube. Okay. Holy crap. I don't know what happens. I'm like afraid that it might happen again. Yeah, my computer is mad at me for neglecting us for a month, for neglecting you guys for a month. Yeah, it's just karmic, I guess. I was away for testing our devotion, make a certain for it. Yes, hi, welcome, holy shit, happy new year. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. How bad do you want to see me stream? Hello. Wow, that I had like such a in my head, the start of the stream is gonna be so hype and cool and fun, and you guys are gonna be excited. I was gonna be excited. We're gonna be going back and forth. But hi, welcome to everyone who has survived the gauntlet of errors. Righteous Ham, who jumped in right at the start of stream. Cam Grundy, Pod if you're here, Sephiroth if you're still here. I'm just naming people that were here before stream. Lazy Black Dragon, Happy New Year. Oh my God, $100 from Stinky Duck. Holy shit. What's going on? Oh my God, did you get a bonus? Thank you so much. Holy cow. Wow. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm speechless to that one. Thank you so much. How are you, Stinky Duck? It's been a while. As I've mentioned before, I've met Stinky Duck before, briefly, at like the Tribeca panel for when Hamaguchi, oh no, sorry. Yeah, when Hamaguchi and Katase were in New York talking about Rebirth. He sat directly in front of me and then he was like, "Are you SubTXT?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, people recognize me? That's interesting. But thank you. Who else do we have? Oh my God, that broke my brain. The whole start of stream is breaking my brain between $100 super chats and then like the stream dying 17 million times. Oh, I'm snoozing that ad. Fuck you. Well, on Twitch, the ad is snooze. I don't know if it snoozes it on YouTube, but no, you're not gonna jump in with an ad now. Not after all the shit you put me through. Sephiroth, Big Pig Venus, Regis Ham. I kind of mentioned a few people. Nick Merkel, thank you so much for subscribing. Chris, for resubbing 5 months in a row. Thank you so much. Let's see. There's a Dark, Nick, Nairo, VGM, Kafka. I think I missed some people. Mr. Hipshot, hey, never been here live before. Stoked to replay FF7 Remake when it comes to more platforms this month. Yeah, how many of you have played the Switch demo, by the way? I did check it out. Tigzy, what's going on? I'm just catching up with the ones that I missed. Lazy Black Dragon, Drake Sparky, what's going on? I know you were here early on. Mr. Hipshot, I just mentioned that. Spartan, did you really stream if there were no problems? Yeah. I feel like my streams haven't had huge problems, but oh no, now I'm getting like low bit rate. Hopefully it's fine. Okay. Had some New Year's love. Yeah, seriously. Back, I was waiting for another notification. Hi, thank you, Sephiroth. Goatia Stolas, subject between you and Max, you guys have made the wait for part 3 tolerable. Thanks for all the content and grounded analysis. Your input about Rebirth's ending made me appreciate it so much more. I was of the people that was just, what the fuck just happened in the square, just ruined one of my favorite stories. Yeah, you know, I definitely had that feeling at the end of, I mentioned this to people before. I mentioned it to like my friends recently, the guys like over at Shinra Arch, who are now over at Blue Sky. But they, and I think that's for good, by the way, like I know people, I retweeted it and I was like, you're gonna have to go there for that stuff, for Shinra Archaeology posts. And from knowing them personally, I know it's like a lot of like the AI stuff, like the, especially apparently there's stuff with like kids, like AI pictures and kids that I don't want to even think about. But like that stuff sort of like really sent them over the edge in terms of like, they just can't be on the platform. And I know like I saw like a couple YouTubers who like uploaded a couple videos seemingly about that topic. I haven't seen like the details of all of that, but from what I heard, it was just like a little, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so I understand. And so you see, like, they pulled down every single tweet. They have like an archive. They like builds an archive. I don't know if they're gonna, I gotta chat with them. Like, I think it'd be good if like if they could post some of that archive like on their website or something at least. But how did I get there? I was talking to them. Oh, I was talking to them about the reaction from Gotia's chat. I was talking to them about like when I beat Rebirth, you know, I was like, I mentioned that stream before, but if I thought about recording my playthrough of Rebirth and sort of having it, like uploading it and all that stuff, but I never did that before. I never played a game with like a camera on me and like conscious of a camera on me. I still try to be myself as much as I can be, but anytime you have a camera on you, you're just naturally gonna act differently, right? Like I don't talk this nonstop in regular real life. But so I had that on my head. And I was like, I've never done it before. And if I'm going to do it for a first time ever, I don't want it to be while playing Rebirth, because the game I've been looking forward to so much. I don't want that influencing like how I play the game, how I react to the game, how I feel. So I decided to not record myself playing Rebirth. But when I reached the end and the credits were scrolling, I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, if a camera were on me right now, people would have like a reaction, right? Like I had a video, I had made some videos leading up to Rebirth's release where I was like, you know, excited for it, you know, contextualizing the change, and I expressed some fears, but I was like relatively optimistic. And then I reached that ending where it felt like they sort of didn't really choose an ending in a way, and were keeping things super wide open just to sort of like respond to people's reactions to it. That was where my head was, and I said that in the video. And so like if you could see my face as the credits were scrolling, it was very much like, it might have been, you would have seen the disappointment, you would have seen the visible disappointment, just because I wasn't sure what they were going for exactly. But yeah, so really thinking about it, thinking more on it, thinking about it in the context of like storytelling and what I know about storytelling. Because once I thought about it in that sense versus thinking about it solely within the confines of like FF7 and what I know as FF7, that's when it sort of opened up again for me, and I could see the potential path that they were taking. And when it comes to like the ending, it wasn't like, oh, I can't believe they killed Aerith and didn't save her or anything like that specifically. It was more so that like I didn't expect her to survive in a way. And then when it, you know, resolved the way it did, where it's sort of like both things were up in the air, it was like, oh, that's like, I just don't know about that choice. You know, like this is a moment that's supposed to be super emotional, and instead I just feel confused and I don't know about that choice, which is like why I think Nomura, we've talked about the Nomura quote before, but there was a Nomura quote where he said he was like very nervous about people's reactions to Rebirth's ending compared to remakes. And I can understand that, right? And I can understand people who expected to feel that emotional way in the ending and that completely souring them on the end. So I totally get that. And then there was one other point I was going to make before I look back at chat. And surprisingly to me, there are people who, when I've seen reactions, this is the point. When I've seen reactions from people who didn't play the original, and they've only played Remake and Rebirth, they actually do have an emotional reaction during the death. Most of the time. There are a couple that have been equally as confused, but a lot of times they are actually very emotional, even like crying and stuff. I'm like, huh. It's like, oh, I thought we saved her and now she's dead. And they had no... they just didn't see it the way that a lot of OG fans saw it. That's one of the most interesting things looking at people's reactions. Glenn Strife allegedly is killing me. We'll talk about that in a second. But seeing new people react to the end is very interesting. Rebirth gets better with time, and inside, yeah. which is why somebody like Max, you know, who's like so into Bloodborne, you know, which literally has a game mechanic called Insight that literally affects the world around you and like how you perceive things. It makes sense why like somebody like Max and other Bloodborne fans, like Just Capricorn is a big Bloodborne fan. I don't know if you guys check out her stream. She's a great streamer. And she loves Remake and Rebirth. You know, that like unraveling, unpacking of stuff is what really gets people going with Remake. Talking live constantly while playing a game is exhausting. I tried it once some decade and a half ago as a lark. Kept it up for maybe 20 minutes before giving it up as a bad job. Yeah. I find it fun. You know, once you have a chat, I will say, like, I'm lucky in terms of like, in a lot of ways, right? In terms of making that video, having people like you, Righteous Ham, finding it through Max Dude sharing it, you know, watching it with everyone, uploading it on YouTube. It's like helped a lot of people find me. And so I have this sort of like this built-in community as I've started to play games on stream. Because if it's just you and like a couple of people in chat or 0 people in chat, I can't imagine how hard that is to do. I already feel self-conscious enough about the sort of like ego in a sense of like streaming and then like thinking people would want to watch me play a game, that I don't know if I could deal with it if I didn't actually have people who were here watching. I was just glad that she still dies. I'm like, oh my God, wow, Nick. Are those actual feelings? Or are you being sarcastic? Because wow, I mean, I like Aerith a lot. So I don't agree with that. It's just that her role, you know, like when, you know, the death of Aerith has like a major impact on the party and the story, and you know, it's thematically important, right? Thank you, Solid Snake, for resubscribing for 5 months. Thank you so much. It's Empire Strikes Back, of course. Confusion, definitely Advent Children narrative. Getting a pulled sword, part 3 moving forward. Part 3, we have to know Sephiroth's real motives, yeah, which we kind of know, but we don't really know. You know, he's said things like he wants to essentially live forever and eternity, all that stuff. But if I had a friend who did play the OG, but was interested in the remake Rebirth, I would never recommend that he go back and play the OG. If I had a friend who did play the OG but was interested, who didn't play the OG but was interested in the remake Rebirth, I would never recommend that he go back and play the OG. It's interesting. I've seen like people who are new to it go back. I've seen people like keep themselves at a distance from playing the original. Like Jess, I think she played remake first, and then she eventually played OG. What I love for people like that is like to get the Zack reveal, like the live stream sequence reveal about who Cloud is. I love seeing their reactions to that because that is my favorite moment. I mean, the whole live stream sequence for me is my favorite moment of FF7. And so seeing their like blind reactions to that without any kind of like setup through the remake games, that has been really fun. Like seeing those reactions is so fun because that was a feeling that I had in the moment, like in the late 90s, that it was pre-streaming and the internet. You couldn't really like see people's reactions to that. So actually seeing fresh, new reactions to moments like that are wild and super fun. But it is interesting seeing people who have only the remake context because it's just such a different way of experiencing the story. They're way less confused for the most part, but it would be weird if Sephiroth pulled Code Geass ending by being a hero because he wanted freedom from Genova, because etc. has to kill him. What is Code Geass? I haven't played like all FF games nor like all Square Enix games. It's gonna Google that. Oh, it's an anime. I haven't seen it. Yeah. Cool. Similar to people started with Star Wars Journey with the Clone Wars instead of OG, changes the context. Yeah. All right. So we have a bunch of stuff, right? That I want to jump into. So as you can see, which has kind of gone unspoken about, as I was hoping that chat wouldn't die or stream wouldn't die. We have a whole new setup here. I started this sort of like blue sort of like border thing at the end of last year. It was in the last stream, for our, like our watch content template, where I'm down like in the bottom left, and then the content is here where I am right now. Then I had chat on the side. It just looked kind of clean. I really liked it. I always had a little bit of a struggle with the like template that I purchased, which was the white one. Actually, I can just flip to it real quick. Oh no, I changed it all, I think. Oh, it was this one. Which was like this one. Just because the, you know, the whole, it's just very, it's a lot of white, right? And I know people generally don't like white coloring just because it's like a flashbang to the eyes. That's why we all have dark mode on our phones. So I switched out to this, or rather it was this, and that is where we are now. So a whole new look, and then we are going to, I'm going to switch real quick. So I think it really looks clean. I'm very excited about it. Down here, you'll see we have topics that we're going to talk about. I also have them in the little thingamabob that I built. That is going to start right here. I also have a Spotify FF7 lo-fi sort of thing. Ready? Let's start a fresh song. This seems like it's like all FF songs, by the way, so we'll just have this in the background. So hello, I am back. So we are back. I need something a little more hype. Come on. It's Ocarina of Time. Give me something. Give me something. Maybe Cosmic Canyon. So yes, we are officially back. It is the big 2026. That means we are about a year away from part 3. And there is so much to talk about. So like I said, whole new sort of like approach to stream in terms of the template, and where you all live here over on that side chat. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So today's plan, we got more Hamaguchi. We're also going to check out potentially another panel that I'm sure you have all seen, but I have never seen. You're going to be shocked that I've never seen it, but it's that video that came out a little bit after Rebirth's release. That was Uematsu, Nojima, and Nomura. That interview, I've actually never watched. I've seen like 10 minutes or so at one point, and it was really fun. It was a really good interview. So much so that I was like, I got to save this for stream, but I've never actually watched it. I've been like fiending to watch it for like weeks and weeks. Like a lot of those weeks where we were watching like theory videos and reacting to it, I was really wanting to watch that because I've never watched it. I don't expect anything like huge in it. But yeah, your format is so cozy and organized. I love it. Thank you so much, Cammy. That's a big part of my approach. I really want this to feel like a show, like a proper sort of show. I put a lot of time into sort of planning this out. So we'll check that out. So obviously the Hamaguchi interview, which somebody asked about, Drake Sparky asked about it at the start of stream. So since he was here, hey, what's up, Night Alive? What's going on? Busy today, but listening in the background, looking forward to the Nier stuff eventually. Yeah, we'll get to it. So for the Hamaguchi thing, we're going to watch it in full. I'll give the fuller breakdown. I did see that people were, since Drake asked about it and he's here in chat, my like quick take on it, at least on the big thing where people were like extrapolating, oh, see, he's saying it's the original. The real quote that sort of like tracks back to is the question where he was asked about FF6 influence on Remake and the Remake project. And, you know, he says like, ultimately this is FF7. So we didn't take in FF6 stuff. We're still sticking to the FF7 script. And he talks about like, you know, always being inspired by the origin of FF7. So I think the context even of that question influenced that answer and sort of like, I don't think he was really discussing anything in terms of like dramatically changing where they go or not. He was more so responding to that direct question about FF6 and its influence. But anyway, we'll talk about it. You'll see. Knights of Resignation, what's up? I appreciate all the work and passion you have. Thank you so much for the super chat, for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Then we're going to get a little crazy. We're going to start talking about 2026 plans. I've heard about this like Nier game that people think are pretty sick. And I did buy it. I actually originally owned it on PlayStation, but I bought it on sale on PC during Black Friday. And so I was like, if I'm going to play it, I might as well play it on PC. So we might play it today. I'm not entirely sure. We have a lot to talk about, so it really depends on how like quickly we get through everything. And we're already 30 minutes into this, and we haven't even gotten into the good stuff. So Crisis Core, Dumb Apples, of course, we gotta continue down the Crisis Core path. We gotta finish Crisis Core. But first, I forget the next slide that I made. Oh, that's right. So support me on Patreon. So part of the new setup is you'll see the Patreon thing in the corner. So long story short, it starts at just $2 a month for the most base level support. If you want to support me, it's going to be at patreon.com/subtext. It's like down there in the bottom right, and it's underscore because unfortunately, there is no, somebody took subtext. So, if you want to check it out, benefits include ensuring I can keep up with this, given the time investment, as the Cammy mentioned. You know, everything's very planned out for the most part on these streams. I stream twice a week, but the Sunday stream, I try to treat like a proper show, have like a little bit of a plan for it. I'm really been a fan of like having these sort of like Google slides to sort of like guide us through the conversation and the chat. And then eventually we get into sort of like playing games. But you know, they're like, I spend days sort of planning this. So Friday, I was doing some work on this show. Then yesterday I was doing some, and over the holidays and New Year's, I was just like thinking about where I'm putting my time and energy. And I started this just as like a hobby, just for the fun. And I really love it. And I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I really enjoy doing this. But at the same time, it does take a lot of time, both from like my personal life and other things. And so I was just calculating things. I make a little bit on YouTube and Twitch, like on even the streams, I make a little bit of money on it. But not a ton. Obviously super chats, all of that stuff helps. Subs, all of that stuff help. But even like a Patreon would be another way. I know a lot of people have it. I've had it since I started streaming, but I never promoted it because I never did anything with it and had nothing that like really I felt good about saying like, hey, join this thing, because I wasn't really offering anything on it aside from just supporting me. So there are some things. So first, your name will be down in the bottom right here, where currently you see your name here, because right now we have nobody, obviously, because it's fairly new. We have Cloud Strife, we have Glenn Strife, allegedly. We have Sephiroth, Tifa, Aerith, Yuffie. We have the whole FF7 party right now as placeholder, just so I can show the animation. But that's where you'll be. There'll be exclusive, like additional gaming thoughts semi-regularly. So I was thinking about this. There's a lot of things that I would love to talk about, but it doesn't really fit my YouTube channel. It's maybe too much for Twitter. So Patreon is a good place for it. So as an example, I made this yesterday. So if you go to the Patreon, you will see this. It is free for everyone right now. But it's like an example, right? Like hot thoughts on games I beat in COVID's wake. So when COVID came around, I started playing a bunch of games, right? Like we all had so much time. So I was keeping this like running list in my phone of all the games I was beating, and like I was kind of giving them a little bit of a like rating out of 10, just like to capture like a log of the games that I played, what I thought of them. And so I made like a blog post all about that, which you can see here. So I like wrote like a little thing about it. These first 5 games are for everyone, and then if you join that like middle $5 tier, you'll get to see all of them. So, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn, I wrote a little ditty about this. I really love the combat and the gameplay, the lore in the world. The actual like moment to moment story didn't like blow my mind, but like sort of unpacking what happened and what created the world of Horizon Zero Dawn I found interesting. Last of Us Part 2, I will die on a hill for talking about and defending and loving. I may do a video about it one day, but I feel like everyone's kind of Last of Us out, including me a little bit, but I love this game. You know, it was a game where a lot of, like, I talk about it here, but like I get a certain choice at the beginning sort of almost seeming obvious, and then the theme even almost seeming obvious to people. But I think there's a lot of layers under it that really struck for me. And there's a point in that game, there's like the big turning point in that game where I was like, I know exactly what you're doing. I know exactly how you're going to try to make me feel. I know exactly where this is going. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Long story short, it worked. And for reasons that are different than I think a lot of people have talked about. But anyway, Batman Telltale was amazing. The first one was incredible. If you watch the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, I feel like it picks up a lot of these narrative threads. I haven't read the comics behind Batman, so I don't know like a ton of Batman lore. But I found like an interesting take on like his family, his father, sort of the implications of the Waynes, like as an entity in Gotham. Batman, the Enemy Within. I loved the Enemy Within so much. Wolf Among Us, I wrote a little bit about. So anyway, that's what you can expect from the Patreon. Is content like this in the in-between. But yeah. Let me catch up on chat, because I feel like I've ignored chat a little bit. Have you seen the 3 Distant Disguise FF7 Remake video? I did. I watched a bit of it on stream. I watched like the first probably 30 minutes of it, as well as like the ending of it. I found like the overall idea very interesting. I thought some of the like very specific examples that he gave, I think he made connections on the macro scale that were very good, and then started to look for every single little piece that might fit into it. And I feel like all the extra stuff that he added into the theories sort of like made it a little bit weaker. But as an overall idea, it was interesting. As it is, the team should be harshly criticized for even allowing Katase to continue to be involved in the first place. And he was the director. Did you hear about DQ? Dragon Quest has sold 9 million. DQ12 will sell huge numbers. Yeah, Dragon Quest has always been strong for Square. I mean, I don't play Dragon Quest. It's really, I don't think for me. I've never really tried it. I've seen stuff on it. I don't know. Dragon Quest just never really spoke to me. I feel like Last of Us Part 2 lures you into thinking you know what they're trying to do, but then they go so hard and almost expects you to reject the straightforward idea, only to show a new one. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with that. So that's what you'll get. And the last thing that you also get is like cool shit that I find that I kind of just want to talk about and don't really have a place to talk about. So for example, this is one of the other posts that I put up as an example. For people who are on the, I think it's the middle tier. Yeah, the middle tier, the $5 tier. You'll get the secrets behind Toy Story 3's writing. It's this video that was put up by Michael Arndt, who wrote Little Miss Sunshine, Toy Story 3, and I wrote a little bit about it. I referenced another video of his in my Rebirth video, but I also wanted to share this video because I think it's super good. And just really interesting. He dives really into the details of Toy Story 3. He shows like animatics, like pre-final animatics, and then talks about, so Pixar famously has this thing called the Brain Trust, which is a bunch of directors and writers. I think it's mostly directors, like Toy Story or Pixar directors, who give feedback on a movie as it's like work in progress. And he talks about, he shows the scene that they had built, and then talks about the feedback that he got from the Brain Trust, and then like why stuff came up the way it did, how they sort of addressed it, and then he shows like the final version of the scene. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Oh my gosh, everyone should read Creativity Inc. Yes, Creativity Inc. is a great book. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, I don't want to like linger on this too long, but the Patreon, again, patreon.com/subtext_. There's the base support. So if you just want to be in the stream scroll, $2 a month for curated golds. Even now, I'm like, maybe it's a cringe name, maybe I'll rethink it. But anyway, it's like more like curated stuff. It's like a lot of like thoughts and the finest like selections of like cool discoveries that don't fit in a stream or my regular YouTube content. You can find that there. And the all access pass is the like $10 one. I don't really expect anybody to be in this, but if you do, I'll include some like work in progress updates on like videos that I'm working on, potential clips from those videos, like as it's still work in progress, maybe even bits of the script or like the general concept for a video before it's like live. So anyway, that's what you can expect with the Patreon. So just another way to support me to keep all this going. Be really helpful. It's at patreon.com/subtext with the underscore. You can find that here. I'll just try to drop it in chat as well. Yeah, so that's the Patreon. So check it out if you're interested. If you want to support, that's great. If not, that's totally fine. You being here is amazing in and of itself. So since everyone's here, let's chat about some fun stuff. So one of the things that I wanted to also talk about was over the break, I played a little bit of some other games. So I played a little bit of Hades. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I didn't play a ton of it, but I was pretty into it. I just had it on my Switch too. And I was playing a little bit every night. I got to get back to it. I haven't had a lot of time to get back to it. The other thing that I did play was also Split Fiction, which I may have talked about with you guys a little bit. But I played some of Split Fiction last year with a friend, and then like both me and my friend sort of like fell off of it at one point. So then I was back home and I played it with my nephew, who I also played It Takes Two with, and we played it to the end. So early, and hey, what's up, Sleepy? Early on with that game, I just felt it was cool, but it didn't like grab me the way that It Takes Two did. I didn't feel like the mechanics were as interesting, like the different new mechanics were as interesting. I grabbed this guy's video because he shows a bunch of different ones. But as you get later into the game, there are a lot of really cool sequences and a lot of really cool sort of like moments in terms of like using the split screen thing. Like probably one of the coolest ones is this one. It was a side mission, but it's like the sort of storybook one that was really fun. This one was really, really fun. There was a lot of really fun ones as you continue through the game. They're just so creative. I really have a lot of this dentist like kind of like candy one was really fun also. Just they're charming as shit. And the very end, I heard a lot of people, what really inspired me too was I'd heard a lot of people talk about the last level. And yeah, the last chapter has some crazy shit. It really does something with the split screen that I at least personally have never seen. It really sort of like inverts it and breaks it in a way that I didn't see coming. So without saying any more, like, worth checking out because it's very cool. And the other thing that I found, actually this is earlier this week, I just want to watch some of. I shared it on Twitter because it was so fucking good. But check out this. I'm pretty sure there are some Persona fans here. Hold on. I need to like lower the volumes a little bit. It's like this performance of Beneath the Mask. It's so good. Hopefully I don't get copyright struck for it, but gotta check this out. It's so cool. The music is so good in Persona 5. I have to play other I have yet to play other Persona games, but Persona 5, the music still lives with me. The vocals though. Persona 4, I want to play Persona 3 Reload first. I've heard a lot of really great things about Persona 3. Anyway, this performance is so cool. So good. So if you want to check this out, I will just share it in chat. Really a great listen. Just the vibes of it. I had this shit on repeat for like a day. And then it reminded me, but you heard that sort of like jazzy thing. It reminded me of this, and I'm going to try to avoid copyright as much as I can, but it reminded me like vibe wise of this Jill Scott song. And because she's a real artist, very highly likely chance of getting copyright on here. I don't know if you remember, I played like a super short Eminem clip on a stream late last year and it got copyright struck. Dude, I had it on for like 7 seconds. But there was this cool, anyway, that big band performance of Persona 5, it mentioned Jill Scott, and there's like a riff. 7 seconds, you say, yeah. There's like a Jill Scott mention in there, and like a portion of the song that's actually directly lifted from the Jill Scott thing. But it reminded me of this other song that I really love that is super under the radar, but it's called Talk to Me by Jill Scott. What's really cool in this song is there's like 3 stages of the song. Like the concept of the song is that she's like talking to her boyfriend, trying to get him to sort of like listen to her about something. And she's struggling to sort of like get through to him. So on the opening part of the song, it's like very gentle, like, hey, let's talk, like that sort of sound. So you'll hear that like here. Do you go? I stop, sit next to you. It's like very like, I'm sitting, I'm like, what? And then like a third of the way into the song, she switches up her style, becomes like a little more seductive, like almost trying to like, you know, get him to talk through like a little bit of seduction. There's like this other sort of jazz style. And then at the very end of the song, she's like getting frustrated, and then it explodes into this like big band thing. It's so cool. I can't play the entire thing, but the progression from like the first sort of like gentle, hey, yeah, to the more seductive thing, to then the big band thing, super cool. And then it got me into my best. I have like this like playlist on YouTube where it's like my favorite covers of songs. And there's like one girl I randomly like found. And I don't know, something about covers and like different renditions of songs that I find really interesting. So it's like I have this playlist, and on it is this one artist where she was on it a couple times, and then I started like looking up more of her stuff, and then I found this song, which is insane. So this is Fly Me to the Moon. You all know Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon. You know, it's like a classic song. It's very like crooner style, you know, like fly me to the moon, like that kind of thing. And this style though is crazy, and I don't give a shit. I feel like the world that needs to hear this song. I know you all want to hear FF7, but you got to hear this. This song, like this version of Fly Me to the Moon, is fucking crazy. It's so good. Hi Kofi, what's going on? It doesn't even sound like Fly Me to the Moon at the start. The band is insane. Sticky Duck is saying, I am seeing a line drawn between this song and FF7R. I will make a point. about this related to Final Fantasy VII. I can make anything about Final Fantasy VII, but I'll do that at the end. Let's just vibe for a second. Oh, drop the link? Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Here's the link.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
Where she drags that out is so good.
In other words, yeah. Baby, kiss me.
I know this is random as fuck, but I just had to share it. It's so good.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please, please be true. In other words, I love you.
And the band comes in. Little keyboard solo. And then the second half of the song is where it gets crazy. Like, how is this Talk Me to the, Fly Me to the Moon? Then she vocalizes with it.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. I wanna see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
So cool.
Hold my hand. In other words, baby,
Right here, wait for it.
kiss my, fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. 'Cause you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please, oh please, please be true. No, no, no. In other words, oh, in other words,
Popping the fuck off. And then she starts scatting. It gets crazy. And And there's more. I know I've like lingered on this for a long time. The scatting is very good though, and then the final band riff is great too. The band. Like one final little.
Fly me to the
Nier Automata soundtrack. You can see her name here, Gigi Delana and the Gigi Vibes. They're Filipino, incredibly good though. I don't know. I just had to like just talk about that because it was so insanely good. You know, and to bring it back to FF7R, I will say that like the hey, what's up, Oz? She ate that shit hard, yeah. The thing I'll say related to FF7R, there are a lot of people who have argued, especially in the light of like that Hamaguchi thing that we talked about. Hey, what's up, Sally Hapner? There are people who talk about like it's just FF7 with like a spin on it. And I think there are, you know, we've talked about it ad infinitum, right? Like I can't talk about it more than I already have in terms of like they set up the fighting the Whisper of Harbinger, etc., etc. There's been enough things to make it feel like it's not just a sort of interesting spin on FF7 as we know it. But that's what this was, right? Like this was a spin on Fly Me to the Moon. Not a single word technically changed, right? It's still the same lyrics. There's a couple times where she sort of like repeated a line just for impact. But it was Fly Me to the Moon, right? Even Frank Sinatra who made Fly Me to the Moon famous, wasn't even the first artist to sing Fly Me to the Moon. So technically, you know, that could be a way to read it, you know, in terms of like, this is a spin on it. It feels fresh, even though it is the same. So, you know, that's throwing a bone to the people who are saying like remake trilogy is essentially FF7 again with a fresh spin on it. That this could be an example of like a similar kind of thing, you know, maybe. I don't see how it was remotely FF7 related. It's not completely. I was just making a comparison. This was just me thinking it was cool as shit, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, really cool performance. But I know you all, right? This is you guys. This is you guys. You're like, what is this guy talking about? I'm here for FF7. We're almost an hour in. We're 51 seconds in. What is going on? What is going on? You guys are thirsty. You're in the desert. I haven't fed you. I haven't given you any FF7 stuff. So fair enough. I'll throw you a quick bone. Max has gotten back into in his FF7 spiel or stuff. It happened like a couple streams ago, where it was like really he just started like playing around with the PC version, and then was like talking about the performance of it. But anyway, there's a few clips on it that I thought were pretty funny. So this one was really fun.
That is an unfortunate asset to load. Damn, Cloud mega stinky. News today.
He was like playing with his
like
mod.
Funky.
So like, you changed like the environment, but it was also spawning animations.
Cloud's spirit shitter. shit. Hey, that's some Atmo. Damn. It's raining.
Did we ever see
That's
a
actually
rain
kinda
animation
cool.
like that in the main game? But yeah, he was like just playing around with this mod. And his PC was running like it was not performing that well. It was having a lot of stutters, like you've seen when I've played it, right? Like I've had some stutters before. Officer, I tripped and accidentally booted FF7 Rebirth. He really did. I forgot what even got him talking about. Oh, it was the Hamaguchi interview, I think. It was the Hamaguchi interview. He reacted to that. And then he was like, I just want to load up the game. And then he was in their chat for like, a lot of you were there. He was in there for like 3 hours. It just suddenly became like an FF7 Rebirth stream, where he was running around. He eventually switched to the PS4 Pro because the PC was stuttering so much. So yeah, very cool. It was just very funny to see him just sort of like geek out again on FF7. And I do think, you know, I see Wick in chat. It was the person who just mentioned that Officer I Trip thing. I do think like it is cool. Somebody mentioned it earlier of like, I think it was the person who was in here who found me through Max, who had said like people like me and Max have like made it more fun, the wait, you know? And I think we've actually, as a community, helped re-energize Max a little bit when it comes to FF7. Like my video, Wick's video, John Q Gamer's video, like he reacts to all of those on stream. And I remember in the immediate aftermath of beating Rebirth, he was on Blitz's podcast. And at one point in that podcast, he had mentioned like, you know, I didn't know if I didn't really want to talk about FF7 a little bit after the ending. I think he got some mean stuff thrown at him because of the Genova Aerith thing. And it just sort of soured him. Like people went kind of crazy on him for it. So he just like, from what I understand and what he mentioned in that Blitz podcast, he was like, it wasn't as fun to talk about FF7 after Rebirth in a weird way, just because the community vibes were a little weird. But I think altogether, you know, between all of us, I think we've sort of like rejuvenated him a little bit. Time has also passed, which always helps too. Yeah, it's cool that we've now paid it back to him in a way where he's getting hyped again, because he got us all hyped for so long. And then yeah, this is another cool, fun moment. So let's play this.
Look at that frame time, dude.
Hey,
Look
what's
at
up?
it.
No,
No more weird holding frames.
This is crazy.
Look at that frame time, dude. Look at it. No more weird holding frames. Nothing. Nothing. Just butter. How did I fix it? The 5090 is no longer in the computer.
The fucking 5090. His 5090 was just not handling this game well. It kept stuttering for him with a goddamn 5090 with like a $5,000 card or whatever it is right now.
No, look at the frame graph, bro. Look at that shit. Do you see that? Look at, is this how you guys have been playing this game? Pisser? No. This is not the PlayStation. This is not the PS5 Pro. The 4090 is back in. Look at the frame timing, dude. It is a
Really
flat
notorious.
line. It is a legit super flat line. That is nuts. And I don't know if it's just this game, if it's the combination of this game with a 7800 X3D. I don't know. But all I can tell you is that I just put the 4090 back in. I just put the 4090 back in. And it's running. God damn. Is this how you guys have been playing this shit?
That's crazy to have a 5090 and it just doesn't run the way that it should, right? Like, that's crazy. I mean, I know like for him, like a 5090, you know, first of all, he could afford it if he, you know, I don't know if he bought it or not, but he may have even gotten it, you know, gifted to him. I don't know how all that works, but to have a 5090 and it not run this game better than, who was it? Notorious's 2060 is crazy. So you put the 4090 back in, and it runs like a dream. And the last one I'll play, which is a surprise to me. I have never seen this chat. I have never seen this.
I didn't.
I never returned to Calm late game.
Don't miss Akira's homecoming concert.
Concert's still going on.
Maybe I have gone back to Calm, but I've never like gone to this little concert place. And unlike Midgar Blues, which like musically didn't sound like, this sounds good. I don't know what the song is, but and to be fair to Midgar Blues, I did hear it in Japanese, and it sounded way better in Japanese.
You never found this? We found this on New Game Plus. This guy will be back in part 3. We discovered this on New Game Plus. This bitch has 3 songs. 3 or 4. You just come back to Calm anytime after the opening, and he's here.
Hey, we're feeling
It's the same dude from the first game. It's the wall market guy, yeah. He's gonna be so sad when Meteor's happening, yep.
Yeah, a couple people in chat. A couple people in chat have not heard it either, apparently.
I didn't.
The sound is just so loud. Yeah, a couple people in chat haven't heard it either. Yeah, very cool.
He's gonna be so sad when Meteor's happening, yep.
I remember hearing, we were talking to his dad, obviously, hoping he'd come back, and that he did. Very cool. I didn't realize, yeah, they did not have to go this hard. But very cool. Hey, what's up, Ego Feelings? Prof Noctis, what's going on? Yeah, it's a little Easter. Yeah, Prof, I missed this. I've never seen this. May have been back to Calm late game, but I've never run back to this little stage. So I missed this. Really cool payoff too, because they do set that up, right? When you go in chapter 2, his dad is there and he's like, oh, I hope my son comes back and like does a concert or whatever, and then he does. At the end of the concert, it talks about dreamers and hoping your dreams come true, which is interesting. Oh, maybe we should check that out. Maybe I should like load up Rebirth and we can like run over and watch the concert in full, because I've never heard it. Fuck it, let's do it now. We'll do it live. Let me just load up. I'm just curious. I've never seen it. Just gonna play. Firing up Rebirth. I'm gonna pull a max. So it's gonna load it up out of nowhere, and then it's gonna become a 10-hour stream of replaying the entire goddamn game. Where did it load? Did it load on the wrong? Wait. Where is it? I know you guys see it. And I see it through OBS, but I don't see it. Here we go. Also, new sort of like camera border setup that I think is quite nice. Uses my blue color with like a little bit of a gradient. Ah, shit. It's not. Hold on. It's just not filling out. Oh, it's locked. God damn it. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go to Calm. Go to Calm real quick. Low key, the chorale music's pretty good. Pretty good. And how's it running? Let's see.